Good afternoon, everyone. Next Generation Weather Forecaster Joe Shaka here, looking at my winter outlook for 2019 and 2020 here in the northeast part of the United States. So what I did here is I went to look at all the years that we had weak La Ninas or a weak El Nino, and I took all those years you can see listed up here from December to February, averaged them out, and got a temperature profile that looks like this. You can see here that I do favor a lot of cold here in the eastern part of the United States, and I weighed a couple of big years here in the Northeast, 14, 15, 17, and 18, where we saw some very big storms in the Northeast during those years. So those are also in there as well with the temperature composites. And I did the same with the precipitation composites, hoping I could hone in on above average precipitation. Again, a lot of those years that we saw those heavy snow events, it was a dry powdery snow, so if you melted it down, you didn't have much liquid to them, but I think the potential is there for a big snow then this winter. Now, looking at the SSTs, you can see we have the somewhat of a weak La Nina developing here in the eastern Pacific, warm here central and western Pacific, so that's the current SST anomalies updated a few days ago. Looking at some of the models here for the upcoming winter, you can see the modeling showing that from the Canadian SIPs, a lot of cool here in the eastern part of the United States during that 3-month period. The 500 millibar pattern looks like this. And you can see all this big ridging here across the north. That definitely implies this trough will be deeper, and all sorts of cold air could come into that trough. With a trough out here and a trough out here, it would imply that trough there. With all that warm water along the east coast, there could be some big storm development again coming on up along with that, especially as we get into January and February. The European for the month December through February, likely too warm here. This looks good because this up here implies blocking, which implies cold air coming down southeastward into the eastern part of the United States. And again, that shows up nicely here in the 500 millibar pattern. You have blocking here, and a big trough right in through here. And I think the model will go to that as we get closer in. The European seeing the La Nina signature here, with the warm in the central and western part of the Pacific. And finally, with all that looked at and some of the other guidance that I looked at over the last couple of days, I get an early temperature forecast of this -2 to average temperatures for the 3-month period, December through February. But I do believe winter will go well into March and early April, as it has been doing over the last several years here in the Northeast. So I will have another update on my winter forecast as we get closer to the start of December. But as of now, I do see it a cold and snowy winter, especially the second half of winter. That is it for now, and thank you for watching.